Today, modern man is preoccupied by the mysteries of outer space. Scientists are probing farther and farther away from Earth. And yet, here on this very world we live in, are hidden mysteries. Gappa!
Anyway, with me losing, Rob is now the new Deep Six champion. And we do have a loser, and that loser is here, Angelo.
That's me.
Yeah. And we always do punishment. So what is your punishment?
So the winner got to choose the loser's three Japanese horror monster movies, not just videos, like long movies to watch.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched one of them right before Impact. I started last night, watched on my phone, fell asleep, and it hit me on the face. So I finished the rest of it today. It was Gappa, the Triphibian Monster, a 1967 Japanese classic. So I guess I'm supposed to review this thing. I don't know. I'm a little traumatized from watching it. But from reading on Wikipedia, it seems like the whole storyline just ripped off of another early 60s monster movie from the United Kingdom, which supposedly had a very similar plot. To me, watching that, because I read this after the fact, this just kind of felt like every kind of plot of an early monsters movie. Like it had a little bit of King Kong, a little bit of Jurassic Park, a little bit just your normal Godzilla movies. As a child, I was a big Godzilla fan, so it was surprising to learn that there was other low budget monster movies out there in the world. Maybe it really wasn't low budget. It said it was 500 million yen, which I didn't do the conversion. That was the budget in 1960.
Yeah. I'm pulling up the conversion now for that because I just saw that. I was like, oh,
yeah,
seems like a lot, but I know it's not going to be.
Yeah, because the characters, though not the characters, the Gappa. Gappa is, I guess, the breed of monster flying Godzilla-like creatures, and they were clearly throughout the movie, it was just people dressed up in a monster suit walking around like a mini stage and just crushing objects and stuff. So I don't know if that costs a lot of money. Sure. So the synopsis of the movie, and Ryan, if you want to put in the conversion, just interrupt.
Oh, I've got it, and I've got the inflation here too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we are going to calculate this real quick. We have entered a number. I don't know. Maybe this calculator doesn't understand 500 million. I've gone way too far. Because it really it claims that I did not put an actual number in.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So, but what you're called it just in today's terms, that would be 4.8 mil.
Okay. So yeah, it's a medium-sized budget then, because in comparison, the UK one only had a $600,000 budget in 61.
Yeah.
So wow, that makes a big difference. So all right, synopsis of the movie. So this is why I said it starts like Jurassic Park and kind of like King Kong too, because it's rich Japanese man wants to build this giant attractions park, and what does he want to fill it with? A bunch of weird animals from the South Islands of Japan that no one ever goes to. So he sends out this crew with reporters, and they go to this island to find these animals, and they come across this island with a exploding volcano that looks incredible. Really high tech stuff. Get on the island. They get in contact with this tribe. Apparently the tribe speaks fluent Japanese, even though they have no contact with the rest of the world. Everything I'm watching, I found this movie. It's been dubbed in English, so I'm getting all the English version of it. But I'm assuming they were all speaking Japanese the whole time because they understand each other.
Right.
So there's this one little boy in the tribe that the actual Japanese homeland people seem to really, I guess, get along with, and they talk to him, and he just screams "Gappa, Gappa." I should mention though, like the tribe, and really specifically this boy, do a really terrible blackface throughout this movie. Apparently, the Japanese producers and directors thought blackface meant tribal I don't know, tribal people. So that's what they decided to go with. Okay. So they reference this Gappa. The boy says Gappa. So of course, the reporters and the people that were sent over to find, the animals are like, oh, let's go look at Gappa. And they're like, absolutely not. He's, you don't want to disturb Gappa. And, obviously they don't listen. They go look for Gappa. They disturb the heck out of Gappa, but they see this egg. This egg eventually cracks. There's a baby Gappa. So they take that baby Gappa with them. Naturally, the Gappas are very upset. So, they wreak havoc on the island, all these tribal people that pray to the Lord Gappa. They make their way. Well, so people make their way back to Japan. The rich businessman is super happy with it. They try to, keep it very low key because they don't want customs to see. They don't want the public to see that they have this like lizard bird thing. But then, the whole world basically finds out that there's an issue because the Gappa husband and wife attack the island of Japan and just start crushing things. It's basically like, imagine two people in costume walking through like HO scale train set with like, fake trees and fake buildings. It's basically like that, just stomping through and like using fake laser beams and blowing shit up. That was pretty much the extent of the graphics, which I get, it's the late 1960s. That's probably what the Godzilla movies looked like anyway. But so they start blowing stuff up. The little boy somehow, I guess, must have went with them back to the mainland Japan. So he's like, you must give baby Gappa back. So they listen to the little boy and they figure out how to, connect baby Gappa to the Gappa parents. But before that, I should say, there's this scene where what they do is, because they know the Gappas, then they decided to like rest in the lake outside of the islands of Japan or wherever they are. And to get them out, they use this like ridiculous screeching sound. So there's like about 2 minutes of the movie where it's just like, like the whole time. I will say my girlfriend almost killed me because I was just watching this on my phone with no headphones, and it's just, she's like, what is going on? I'm like, I'm watching this movie as the sound is getting louder and louder. This is causing anxiety. I'm like, Jenny, I have to watch this movie. So almost, ended my relationship, but I got through it. So Pat, I'll have to send him, that 2 minutes in there because he might really be interested in the 2 minutes of the screeching.
That's 100% going into a Pat bomb.
Yeah, 100%. Because it gets the Gappas to come out of the water and then just destroy more land. Like, that wasn't a great idea. But then they finally get the baby on a platform. They like get helicopters to carry the baby, and the baby's growing in size day by day because it's not just a normal baby of a bird. It's like this lizard monster creature that can shoot lasers out of its eyes. So they get it to this platform. They get the Gappas there because they got them out of the lake now. They embrace at the end, and they fly off into the sunset. Literally, there's a scene of them flying off into the sunset. Works out. In general, some other things in the movie, like it has like your typical like love story in between. There's like the woman reporter and the guy reporter, so they're working together. But like the guy's all about work, and the woman's more like feely. It's like a very like outdated, woman character in a movie, basically. That's how I felt. Like, it was a historical timepiece. Like, it makes sense. It came from the 60s. Today, there's no way those actors would say the things they were saying in 2022, because they made the woman character look like not, like a strong character very much.
Right.
But that was expected. Like, at the end of the movie, she's like, oh, I don't know, this and that. And they basically cut out after this. They do the sunset of the Gappa's flying away, and then the guy and girl reporter are walking together and talking it out and stuff. So happily ever after there too. But yeah, that's my review of Gappa, the Triphibian Monster. It is, someone was graceful enough to put it on YouTube with the English dub. It's out there full through if you want to watch it. I don't know if you should, but if you want to, it's there.
Yeah, I'm on Letterbox, which me and Pat and Joey and Rob all review our movies on. It has 2.5 out of 5 stars on there. There's not a ton of reviews of it, but majority are it's mixed reviews.
Yeah, that's what I saw too. Like, it's not like, what's a good example? Like, I've definitely seen worse movies, like the Mario movie from like 1950. That one's just like comically terrible, and that's why I said this Gappa movie. It's a historical timepiece. Like, it's stupid watching it now, but it fit what those monster movies were like then a little bit, maybe a little worse, but like it wasn't that far off from what they were doing, and it wasn't a terrible plot, I will say.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Excited to hear the rest of your ones. Hopefully this punishment doesn't take as long as the other punishment that you still technically are currently ongoing.
I'm kind of lingering about doing another shirtless video. I have like 4 out there on the public domain.
Yeah, well, it's just one more.
Just one more. Yeah.
We'll Photoshop Hulk Hogan's body over you.
Oh, excellent.
We'll Photoshop Gappa's body over you.
Yeah. Gappa.
Gappa!